Welcome back. Imagine you walk into a job interview. The recruiter smiles and says, "We have a great position for you. You can be your own boss. You can work whenever you want. You can wear sweatpants, and you might make $30 an hour." You ask, "Wow, that sounds amazing. What about health insurance?" Recruiter, "None." You, "Paid sick leave?" Recruiter, "Zero." You, "Okay, what about equipment? Do I get a company car?" Recruiter, "No, you use your own car, and you pay for the gas, and the repairs, and the insurance, and if the car breaks down, you're fired. Oh, and also, your manager is a robot who tracks your location every second and will terminate you if your rating drops below 4.8 stars. If a human offered you this job, you would laugh in their face and walk out. But when an app offers this job, we call it the future of work. We call it the gig economy. For the last decade, Silicon Valley has sold us a beautiful lie, the dream of being your own boss. They told us that driving for Uber, delivering for DoorDash, or building furniture on TaskRabbit was the ultimate freedom. But for millions of Americans, that freedom has turned into a trap. Instead of entrepreneurs, we have created a new class of workers, the Cyber-Serfs, people who have all the responsibilities of a business owner, but none of the rights of an employee. Today, we are going to break down the brutal math of the gig economy. We will explain why most Uber drivers are earning less than minimum wage if you do the math right, why gamification is just psychological manipulation, and why we are heading toward a future where your ability to pay rent depends on an algorithm's mood. Let's start with the money, because the apps love to show you big, bold numbers. Make $25 an hour. But there's a difference between revenue and profit, and the apps rely on you not knowing the difference. Let's say you drive for Uber. You make $100 in a 4-hour shift. That's $25 an hour. Not bad, right? Wrong. That $100 isn't a wage, it's revenue. Now you have to deduct the costs. First, gas. Let's say $15, and now you have $85. Second, taxes. Since you are an independent contractor, 1099, you pay the full self-employment tax. That's roughly 15-20%. Now you're down to roughly $65. But here is the silent killer. Depreciation. Every mile you drive destroys the value of your car. Tires wear out, brakes fade, the engine ages. The IRS estimates the cost of driving a vehicle is roughly 65 cents per mile. If you drove 100 miles to make that money, you effectively burned $65 in vehicle value. When you do the real math, accounting for the fact that you will need to buy a new transmission in 2 years, many drivers are making $7 or $8 an hour. Some are actually losing money. They are essentially cashing out the value of their car, bit by bit, to pay for groceries today. They are borrowing from their own future. It's not a job. It's a payday loan with extra steps. The legal foundation of this entire industry rests on one specific term: independent contractor. Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash insist we are not a taxi company. We are a technology platform. We just connect drivers with riders. This distinction saves them billions of dollars. If you are an employee, W-2, the company has to pay for unemployment insurance, Social Security contributions, workers' comp, and minimum wage. If you are a contractor, 1099, the company owes you nothing. But are you really independent? An independent plumber sets his own rates. He chooses his clients. He negotiates the job. An Uber driver cannot set the price. They cannot see the destination before accepting in many markets. They cannot negotiate. They have zero control. The app tells you where to go, how much you will get paid, and how fast to get there. If you act like an independent business owner and refuse too many low-paying rides, you get deactivated. So you have the worst of both worlds. You have the control of an employee. The boss tells you what to do, but the risk of a contractor. If you get sick, you starve. It is a regulatory loophole large enough to drive a fleet of Toyota Priuses through. Have you ever tried to argue with an algorithm? It's frustrating. In the gig economy, you don't have a human manager. You have code. And this code uses sophisticated psychological tricks, borrowed from casinos and video games, to make you work harder for less money. It's called gamification. You see it in the apps constantly. You are on a streak. Do 3 more rides to unlock a $5 bonus. Surge pricing nearby. Go there now. You are a platinum driver. Don't let your status drop. These aren't just fun features. They are nudges. They are designed to override your rational decision-making. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you want to go home to your kids. But the app flashes a red light and says, high demand area, so you stay on the road. They manipulate the supply of labor without paying overtime. And the discipline is instant. If a passenger creates a mess in your car, you pay for it. If a passenger lies and says you were rude to get a refund, you get a flag on your account. If you get too many flags, the algorithm deactivates you. Deactivation is a nice Silicon Valley word for fired. But unlike a real firing, there is no HR department. There is no appeal process. You just wake up, open the app, and see a message. Your account has been suspended. Your livelihood is gone, extinguished by a line of code, and there is nobody to call. The most dangerous part of the gig trap is what happens when things go wrong, and things always go wrong. Let's say you are a DoorDash courier. You are delivering a burrito in the rain. You slip on some stairs and break your ankle. In a normal job, you get workers' compensation. Your medical bills are paid. You get a portion of your salary while you recover. In the gig economy, you are on your own. You have to pay the hospital bill yourself. And since you can't walk, you can't drive, your income drops to zero instantly. This creates a class of precariat workers, precarious proletariat. They live one bad day away from homelessness. A flat tire isn't just an annoyance, it's a financial catastrophe. A flu that keeps you in bed for 3 days means you can't make rent. During the pandemic, this became painfully obvious. When people stopped moving, drivers had no income. The government had to step in with special emergency unemployment because the gig companies, who made billions, did not pay into the unemployment insurance system. Essentially, the taxpayers subsidized the business model of Uber and Lyft. We paid for the safety net that they refused to provide. The companies defend themselves by saying most drivers are just doing this on the side. It's extra money for beer or a vacation. And sure, for the guy driving 5 hours a week, it's fine. But the system relies on the full-timers. Data shows that the majority of rides are completed by drivers who work full-time hours. These are the people sleeping in their cars at the airport lot waiting for a ride. These are the people driving 12 hours a day. The side hustle marketing is a smokescreen. It hides the reality that for millions of people, this is their only option. As traditional jobs disappear or stop paying living wages, people are forced into the gig economy out of desperation. It's not freedom, it's survival. And now this model is spreading. It's not just drivers, it's nurses, nursing apps, it's teachers, it's warehouse workers. Companies love this model. Why hire an employee when you can hire a tasker for 2 hours and fire them instantly? We are moving toward a world where everyone in June is a gig worker, a world with zero job security, zero benefits, and zero loyalty. So, is there a way out? We are seeing drivers organize. We are seeing strikes. We are seeing cities like New York and Seattle pass laws mandating a minimum wage for app workers. But the apps are fighting back with hundreds of millions of dollars in lobbying. The next time you call an Uber or order a pizza, take a second to look at the person bringing it to you. They aren't an entrepreneur. They aren't a partner. They are a human being navigating a ruthless system that extracts value from their time and their vehicle while giving them almost nothing in return. The gig economy promised us the future. But it looks a lot like the past, a time when workers had no rights and the lord of the manor took all the profit. The only difference is that the lord is now an app and the manor is the cloud. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever worked a gig job? Did you actually make money, or did the gas eat it all? And do you think the government should force these apps to treat drivers like employees? Don't forget to like and subscribe, because my boss is the YouTube algorithm, and it is a very demanding master. See you in the next one.